Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about who looks up to you and why do they look up to you. And so I have 4 groups that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can always just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then I'll just move on to the reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this, the Cook's Tarot deck. And I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1. Who looks up to group number 1? I am getting something about a female in your life, someone quite close to you. This could be your sister or your niece. It's definitely a female, maybe a bit younger. I am seeing for some of you, this person could be a few years younger than you. And for others of you, if it's your niece, it could be someone quite a lot younger, of course. I'm getting something about dancing. I think this person looks up to you, especially when you're dancing for some reason. Not necessarily like, I'm just getting that this person, this person really likes you when you let loose, when you have fun, when you dare to be a bit too much as well. I think you have some, you have a lot of charisma, and you can be a bit over the top sometimes. Not for this message is not for all of you. I'm sensing that some of you are thinking like, that's not how you act at all. Like, you're not at all over the top. You're very you're very chill, a very chill person. But I think even if you're a very chill person, you still have those moments where you just give in to the moment and just go for it and just dance or sing or just go out and do something crazy that no one expects you to do. So I am definitely getting that there are 2 different types of people here in this group. There are those of you who just you just have that that over the top personality in general, and then there are those of you who are a bit more laid back, but you sometimes give in to the moment. But for all of you, like the common denominator for all of you is that this person just really likes it when you're over the top, even if you only are like that once a year or a few times a year. Like, it's those moments that this person really admires you for. and this person wants you to be like that more, and if you are like that a lot, if you're over the top a lot, then I think this person just wants you to be more accepting of who you are, and just allow yourself to be that way, and don't think too much about it afterwards, that maybe you were a bit over the top, or maybe you talked too much, or maybe you sang too much, and maybe you were a bit cringy at that time, and maybe you shouldn't have said that, and maybe you shouldn't have done that, and I think this person just wants you to accept who you are, because you are great, like, and so yeah, 3 of Cups. I think, yeah, this person looks up to you as, like, they see you as someone who's the life of the party, someone who's just good at having fun, and also very fun to be around. Like, if this is your niece, I think she sees you as like this fun aunt or aunt. Like, you're this, and so they look up to you as like the one person in her life who actually is actually having a fun time, and not taking everything so seriously, and that you allow yourself to make jokes and yeah, and be a bit more relaxed and chill, and that you don't take everything so so seriously. So I'm also getting that this person likes that even though you're a grown-up, you're not completely a grown-up, like you're not a boring grown-up. You have, like, maybe if this is your niece, it is your niece for some of you. I'm definitely getting that feeling. I think she sees you as that cool person who knows about all the pop culture things. Like, you know who's famous on TikTok. You know who you know the celebrities, who's in a relationship with who, and like you seem to know a lot about pop culture, and I think you are maybe the only person in this person's life who actually gives a damn about those things, and I think she really likes that. This could be, now that I think of it, if this is not a girl, it could be a boy, but a more feminine boy in your life. Like, it could be your nephew, but if your nephew is a bit more feminine, and so okay, but that's specific for only maybe one of you. But I'm definitely getting that, like, you might have watched RuPaul's Drag Race and shows like that, and so you know a lot of. So if this person is like LGBTQ, you know a lot about that community, and so you can talk about drag queens and stuff like that as well, and so. So yeah. with the Nine of Cups, reversed, for some of you, this person might not be completely related to you genetically, like, or maybe half. Like this could be a half sister or a half sister's daughter or son, or some. So it could be someone who's not completely, or who is related to you but not completely related, or someone who's in your family but you're not related by blood, but it's someone who's either has been adopted or in any other way been cared by maybe your parents as a foster child or something, and so maybe this person is not related by blood, but I think one of the things that this person loves about you is that even though you're not related by blood, you act as if you are. Like you don't treat this person any different. You treat them as if this person was one of your own, and I think that has really touched this person, and that is one of the things that this person really looks up to in you, is that you treat them as one of your own. These two could be two different people, by the way. There could be more people who look up to you. Of course, there probably are a few people who look up to you. So it could be both like a niece of yours and a half-sister of yours, or someone who's like an adoptive sister, or someone who you've had as a sister, but that she was in foster care, so she wasn't your real sister, but it felt like you were sisters. So it could be two different people. It could be both a niece and a sister of yours. But that, of course, might not resonate with all of you. But so I'm also with the Nine of Cups. I think this person sees you as someone who's not who doesn't like you're very tolerant and very respectful of all people, or respectful towards all people. Like you treat every person that you meet with the same respect. Even like when you speak with a homeless person, you speak with that person with the same respect as you would if you spoke with the president. Like you don't change the way you speak to people when you speak to different types of people. Like you give everyone the same amount of respect, and I think this person, at least one of the people who admire you and look up to you, see you as someone who has the gift of just being completely tolerant and open to everyone. Yeah. I'm also getting that, like, you're not one of those who look down on people if they don't have an education, or if they don't have credentials, or if they don't have a job, or if they don't, like, you don't put it, like, you don't hold that against anyone. You seem to just be actually interested in knowing, like, what's the reason why. Like, you're not afraid of asking such questions, but it's not because you want to judge them. It's because you just really want to know what's their story, because you believe that everyone has a very interesting story to tell, and you just want to hear it. So, also, with this card, when it's upright, with this lady here with the hat on, I sometimes think of the saying, the devil in a Sunday hat, and when it's reversed, I think that it's because of the quote comes from the TV show True Blood, yeah. So that's where it's from. That's the association, by the way. But when it's reversed, I think this person, or these two people who look up to you, they see you as the opposite of that. Like, you're not trying, you're not deceiving anyone. Like, you're not the devil in a Sunday hat. Like, you don't you don't try to seem sanctimonious. You don't try to act as if you're something you're not. You're not. You are, like, some people might actually get the wrong idea about you when they first meet you. Like, you might come off as a bit more intimidating than you actually are. Like, you are a saint on the inside, like, but maybe you come off as a bit tough sometimes, and so I'm just getting that sometimes people might get the wrong idea about you, because you might use a language that might be a bit rough, or you might say certain things that, like, you might have a dark sense of humor, or you might be very sarcastic, or you might just talk about some dark stuff sometimes. But really, you're a very light person, light and bright person on the inside. But you might come across as a bit dark, at least when people meet you the first time. And there could also be something where maybe some of you wear some clothes that, like, maybe some of you used to be a bit goth, or you might wear some dark makeup, or you might color your hair in a darker color, or a brighter color, but maybe you wear some t-shirts with some rock bands or heavy metal bands, or some movie quotes, but maybe some more tough movies, or something like that. I don't know, but it might come across as if you are a bit tougher, or a bit raw, but really on the inside you're very, very sweet and kind to everyone, and very tolerant to everyone, and you don't judge people for being different. So with a page of swords, yes, that's kind of the idea. This person has a knife in her hand, and like she's casually like waving around the knife, like it's nothing, and of course she is cooking, but it kind of looks a bit it looks a bit brutal, because she's just casually waving that sword, that knife around, and so I think it might be a bit accidental sometimes. Like sometimes you might just come across as a bit rough around the edges, even though it's not your intention. So sometimes you might be a bit blunt towards people. You might say something very directly towards a person that you and it's not meant in a mean way. Like you don't want to be mean to anyone. You want to be the opposite. You want to be nice to everyone, and you wouldn't ever want someone to feel bad about something that you said to them. That would hurt it would hurt your whole existence if someone actually were hurt by something that you said that you didn't mean that way. Like I think it might have happened sometimes in the past that people have misinterpreted something that you said, and you didn't mean it that way, but it might have come out that way. And these two people here who look up to you, one of them, I think it might be your sister. She might have seen that side of you. So you might have fought a bit in the past, because you might have said something and you didn't actually mean it at the time, but maybe you were hurt by something else that maybe your sister said to you, and so you tried to hurt her back or something, and so it came out wrong and you regretted it just as you said it, but I think bottom line is that even though, like, I think your sister has completely forgiven you for this. It happened in the past, but I think she has realized that you mean well. That you mean well when you say things that are that sound a bit mean, but really they are not meant to be mean. And I think she realized that. She has realized that you actually don't have any bad intentions towards her. You just want the best for her. And I think she has grown to appreciate that more. She has grown to appreciate your advice more. Maybe she didn't appreciate your advice in the past because she misinterpreted your advice as criticism, and she didn't like that, and she thought you were putting her down. But I think now, as she has grown older, she has grown more appreciative of your advice and sees how valuable it actually is, and how you're actually just trying to help, and that you just want her to succeed and be the best version of herself. And I think your sister actually feels like you're one of the few people in her life who can actually do that properly. I am sensing that maybe your parents weren't that like, I don't think you had bad parents, or maybe some of you did, but I'm just sensing that maybe you were very close to your sister growing up, because your parents weren't very attentive, or they didn't have the time, or they weren't around that much. And so I think you might have raised your sister a bit as a parent, as if you were the parent of your sister, and so maybe you felt like you had to take on the role as the parent, or the one who gives tough love to your sister. Like you felt like you had to guide her and give her constructive criticism so that she could succeed in life, as if she was your own child. Maybe because your parents weren't taking on the parenting role themselves, and so you felt like you had to. And so maybe that's, I think your sister felt like this was very, like she had that, because you were a bit like a parent to her growing up, she was a bit resentful towards you in the beginning, as many children are towards their parents, because they feel like their parents are mean to them and are critical and stuff like that. And so I think it was probably that made her resent you a little bit in the beginning, or when you were growing up. But I think that resentment has completely gone. I think she realizes that she was actually very lucky to have you, and yeah. But I am sensing that I think your sister wants you to have more fun. Like, I think, as I was saying in the beginning, I think your sister and your niece, like, or if you have a niece, if not, then it's just your sister. But I think she wants to see you more happy. Like, she wants you to let loose. She likes it very much when you have more fun and are more relaxed, and when you make jokes, and when you're light. I think she feels like sometimes you get a bit too serious, and that you put on a bit too much of, even though you don't have the parenting role anymore, it still seems as if it's very deeply rooted in you, that you have to be the one on top of things, that you have to be the serious one, the one in control, the one making sure that everything is all right with but I think your sister just wants you to relax and lay back a bit, and don't take the responsibility for others. Try to just be responsible for yourself and let loose more. But I think these people, they look up to you. They see you as someone who's very, very bright and quick-witted. You're probably very, very good at coming up with a comeback. Like, you're very good at thinking on your feet. You make really good jokes because your brain is just wired differently than others. Like, you think of jokes really, really fast. And it's like you're really good at delivering jokes, and so but sometimes you might put like you can see in this picture here, like she's doing cooking, and she has her computer here, and she has a book here, and like everything is like she's trying to do everything at once, and like the window is open, so there's like leaves coming in and rain coming in, and she doesn't even notice that the window is open, and she probably should close it because rain is coming in from the window. And so like but she doesn't realize it because she's so stressed out doing everything at once. And so I think these people admire you for your ability to multitask and do everything at once, but they also feel like you need to take a break sometimes, and don't put so much on yourself, and don't have so high expectations of yourself that you have to do everything at once. Sometimes it's fine to prioritize certain things over others, and not being that superhero, not being that like sometimes it's okay to say I need a break, and that's fine. And I think you are very admired for how much you can do at once, and how efficient you are, and how like people think it's amazing that you can balance all these things at once, but they also just feel like it would be okay if you stepped down a bit, and it wouldn't hurt if you did. So yeah, with the 9 of Cups reversed and 3 of Cups, also these are party themed. Like you can see that both these cards have party themes, and so I think these people also feel like you need to maybe go out more and have more fun, go out, drink with your friends. Don't because that's when you are the most fun, like when you're having fun. And maybe you haven't been able to do that because of the pandemic, and that's of course yeah. But I think these people, these 2 people in your life, if not, maybe there's more, but they want you to just have more fun, they feel like everything in your life is starting to turn a bit too serious, and it's not, it's unbecoming in a way, like it's not you, like you're not that type of person. You're the type of person who needs to wear a dress that looks like a disco ball and put on makeup, glittery makeup, and just go out and look like $1 million and have fun. Like that's when you are in your element in a way, and you need to be able to do that, because when you're not able to do that, you become this this serious person who takes life too seriously, and yeah, so I don't know, it's there's also maybe something, like I think both these people really want you to start dating. I don't know if you're single right now, but I think they really just want to push you into actually starting to date someone and go out and find someone that you can date, because you're at home trying to balance everything on your own, and it would just be good if you had some kind of partner in crime in a way that you could share the workload with, that you're being this boss lady, this power person, even if you're not sorry if I don't know your gender, but that you're very powerful on your own, and you're in your power when you're alone, but I just think these two people, they just want to see you be more, like see you with someone else who can support you, who can take some of the workload, and that it would also be good for you to start a romantic relationship, so that you're not so much on your own trying to make everything balance out on your own. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Rotamundi tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2. Who looks up to group number 2? I am sensing that it's someone more masculine. Maybe your brother, or someone masculine in your life who's very close to you. I think this person might be a bit on the muscular side. Like this person could be a bit raw, or this person might have a bit of a raw exterior. But I think this person is quite soft on the inside, but from the outside they might seem a bit rough around the edges. And so I think this person is quite misunderstood by a lot of people, but I think this person looks up to you because you're one of those people who actually don't misunderstand them. Like you understand this person quite well. You seem to be very good at reading this person. if this person is not your brother or some, this could be a classmate of yours or a study buddy or just a male friend of yours. I am sensing a male here or a masculine female. Well, it could be a masculine female, but I am sensing that for most of you it's a male. And I think this person, they feel like you are very good at reading them and reading people in general. And that's one of the things that this person really looks up to you because of. And they feel like this person feels like you always know when something's not right with them. Like if something is bothering them, you're always the first one who can tell, and like you're the first one to ask them, is everything all right? Like you can just sense that there's something that is bothering them, or that they are irritated by something, or that they are angry about something, or that they are sad about something. Like you, and you can always tell if someone else says something to this person, that you can tell that they don't like being like what that person said to them. You can always tell that they are bothered by what has been said, and so I think you're also good at actually defending them, and even before they even ask you to, like you don't even before they even react, you seem to react on their behalf even before they react, like you, because, and maybe you also get a bit offended on their behalf, and so, but I think this person actually, like, they actually really like that you get offended on their behalf, so it's not bothering them at all. They like that you react when they don't seem to be able to react on their own. This person could be a bit shy, or they might just be very they might be very afraid of conflict, like maybe they don't feel like standing up for themselves. They don't feel like so I am sensing that there must be a reason for this. Like this person must have something to fight with, since this seems to be an occurring theme, reoccurring theme in their life, that they have to stand up for themselves for whatever reason, but they've just grown tired of it, and so they are happy that you do it for them. But so I am sensing that this person could be they have something, I don't know what it is, that they are struggling with, something that people tend to pick on this person for some reason that I can't really figure out the cause. I was gonna say that it might be some LGBTQ thing, but I'm kind of not really getting that energy after all. I'm sensing that it's something else. That it's maybe something regarding their appearance. Maybe they have something about their appearance that people make fun of for whatever reason. It could be a scar that they have, or even though I don't know why people would make fun of that, or a tattoo that they have, like a face tattoo or a neck tattoo that they got in the past, and maybe they regret getting it now, but people might assume that they are in some kind of gang or something because of the neck tattoo, or there's just something about their look that might tip people off or make people a bit. It might just make people question something about them, and I think you are very, very good at defending them every time people try to say something nasty about it. And I think this person just really likes that about you, that you that you seem to get them when other people kind of misunderstand them. With this card here, new endeavor, I think there is. I think this person looks up to you because of some new endeavor that, especially because of some new endeavor that you might have talked about recently. That you are maybe you're starting some kind of project, starting a new job, starting some. Maybe you've just started some new endeavor, and I think this person really looks up to you because you've taken that leap of faith, that you are doing something that because you felt like doing it. Like, I am sensing that you might have taken on some kind of project that other people have told you was a bad idea, but you've done it anyway, or you've started it anyway, and like you haven't let people get in your way, and I think this person really admires that about you, that you are not afraid of taking that step towards something new and unknown, even though it's unknown territory, even though it's not something something completely out of your comfort zone, but you dare to do it anyway because you're a brave, strong person. And I think this person looks up to you because you also dare to do what this person might not dare to do. Like, this person looks up to you and they want to be like you. They want to be that confident person who just follows their intuition and does whatever their heart says that they should do. And you're one of those people, and maybe this person is a bit too overly self-conscious about everything they do. Maybe because they've been put down a lot by other people, and people have questioned their decisions in life. Maybe the neck tattoo, maybe something different. But like, this person might have some kind of mark on their body or on their face or whatever that haunts this person, because it serves as a mark that people notice, and they notice right away that, okay, this person is the type of person who makes bad decisions, and they question it for some reason, and I think this person is just used to people judging them prematurely when and so they don't actually dare to just go out and do something crazy, new and exciting, because they are afraid that the world will judge them, that everyone is going to look down on them for even trying, and they see you just taking that leap of faith and ignoring all the haters and just doing your thing and doing it just for you and doing it without thinking of pleasing anyone. You just go out and do it because you want to, and I think this person sees that, and they look up to that. They want to be like you, and they put you on a pedestal because of this. They see you as an ideal person, the person that they strive to be like. And like they wish they were more like you. They wish they were more confident in their own beliefs, or confident in their guidance, spiritual guidance. Like you might rely quite a lot on your spiritual guidance, and you follow your intuition, and you don't, and that might be what makes you a bit carefree. Like you don't care what other people think, because you know you have a higher mission in life. You know that what you're doing is what you're supposed to do, and so no one can talk you out of it, because you know that's your mission. That's what you are supposed to do. And so yeah, and this person, like there's some steps here, a ladder here, and I think this person sees you as someone who's slowly but surely walking up the ladder. Like you are getting somewhere, you are trying to shoot for the stars, and it's very obvious that you are taking the steps towards greatness. Like you I think this person actually has very high hopes for you, in like they see you as someone who's going to make it. Like they see you as someone who's gonna succeed with what you've started, and they don't seem to have that much doubt about that. Like they believe you are onto something. You are on your own path, and it's an original path. So they just know that you're gonna succeed because it's original. You're doing something that's original, and when someone does something original, they are gonna succeed, because who are the competitors? Like if it's so original, then there are no competitors. And so there is some element here of like this person really believes in you. They would want to have that thing that you have. I think you have something. There is something that you can do, or some kind of skill that you have, and that's probably the base of your project. The new endeavor that you've started is some kind of way to use your skill or your talent to get far in life. And I am sensing that this is your brother. I don't know, of course, but I just got that message, just that from a majority of you, this is probably your brother. And I think you two probably had the same upbringing, but kind of different. Of course you had the same upbringing because you grew up together, but I'm just sensing that it was two very different experiences for you two. Like your brother, like it might have been harder for your brother to actually get the same amount of affection from your parents as you did. And it might have been because your brother was a bit rough around the edges, and maybe he always was like that. Maybe he always had a tendency to do things impulsively that he shouldn't have done. Maybe he got into some fights when he was younger. Maybe he really felt like he had to test his testosterone against other boys, and like that sort of thing. And maybe he was compensating for something, but that's I don't want to not in that way. Sorry, I was more thinking of sexuality, that maybe he was trying to be overly masculine, so that people wouldn't see him as feminine, and maybe he was actually bullied at some point because people said that he was too feminine, or that he was gay or something, and maybe that made him try to be more masculine and get into fights and get a neck tattoo and get tattoos all over his body, and get really ripped, and because he wanted to show people that he was actually masculine and that he was not a Nancy boy or something like that. I don't know. So that's just, but that's probably specific for a few of you. I'm sorry, but I think there is some kind of pattern that maybe your brother didn't feel like he could be his authentic self, that he was always trying to be something that he was not, in order to impress others, in order to get other people's respect. Like he didn't get people's respect just by being himself. He might have felt like his genuine, authentic self was not really good enough. And maybe he also felt that way towards his father. Maybe your father was really, really nice towards you growing up. Maybe you were a daddy's girl if you're a girl. You might have had more genuine affection or love, felt more love from your father than your brother did, because you were daddy's little girl, and that you could do nothing wrong, and your dad might have even been a bit overly protective of you, and he didn't want you to date other boys because boys are horrible and a horrible influence on you, and you should just stay nice and cute and sweet, a sweet little girl, his sweet little girl forever. And so you probably got that version of your dad, that soft and kind and gentle version, but your brother might have gotten a different version that was a bit more tough and a bit more strict, and he might not have been able to do everything right, or anything right, really. Like he might have had a hard time impressing your dad and making your dad like him, and maybe your dad even made fun of your brother in the beginning, when he was a bit more into some softer things, like maybe poetry or comic books or something like that. And maybe your dad said like, oh, you shouldn't be into that, because you shouldn't be into anime or stuff like that, because that's for Nancy boys or whatever. And that he should be more tough and be into sports and cars and stuff like that. And so maybe your brother felt like he could never actually win. He had to actually change into a whole different person just in order to get approval from your dad. And maybe in a way, your brother looks up to you because you are so genuine, because you're so authentic. You can just be who you are, and you don't have a care in the world. Or maybe your brother feels that way. Maybe you do have a care in the. I think of course you do. But I think your brother. Your brother looks up to you, but your brother is also. I'm also getting a bit that your brother is a bit jealous of you in a way, because I think your brother feels like you have this talent that you can do something. I don't know what it is. Maybe you are really good at singing. Maybe you are really good at drawing or painting or writing or doing poetry slam or acting or something like that. Maybe you are a psychic, or you can predict the future, or you're a fortune teller, or maybe you do something completely different. But maybe you can do impressions of people and and stuff like that. Maybe you have some kind of talent that is really, really remarkable. And I think your brother sees that, and they see you as this original person because you're able to do something that no one else can do, and that you can probably monetize it and become a big success. If you did TikTok or YouTube or any sort of went on any sort of social media platform, you would get an audience because you have a very interesting talent. But I think your brother feels like if he had been able to just be his authentic self his whole life, like in his upbringing mostly, he would maybe have realized that he might have had a talent that he never actually figured out or realized, because he didn't I think he might have felt like something. You had this opportunity to actually figure out what you can do and who you are and what your identity is and how you would like to portray yourself to the world. And it's like you have, even like, it's not only the talent part, like it's also that you are very you're a very together person. Like you're a very finished project in a way. Like you've realized who you are, and you know what's interesting about you, and you can monetize it. You know what's great about your personality, and you can highlight the great parts, and you know how to portray yourself in the best way because you know your identity. You know what makes you so special, what makes you you. And I think your brother feels like your brother don't know who they are, who he is, or they, if maybe there's some gender fluidity or fluidity. I don't know. I don't know, but I think your brother just felt like he couldn't figure out his own identity, because he was always acting as if he was someone else. He was always trying to be a certain way to get approval from other people, and so he never really hugged his own self. Like he never really what's it called, like embraced his own self and became accepting of who he was, so that he could actually grow and see what was awesome about him and what he could actually do and what skills he had. And I don't know. I don't think it's too late though for your brother. But like I feel like your brother looks up to you. Your brother really loves you a lot. Like you shouldn't be in any way unsure about that. If you have a brother, if it's not a brother, again, like as I said in the beginning, this could be someone else. Of course, then you wouldn't have the same dad, but maybe there would still be those same themes about wanting approval from others and feeling like you're very privileged because you don't seem to seek approval from others. But yeah, this person looks up to you. They see you as a bit of like an idol to them. Like they really look forward. They look forward to seeing you go through this journey that you've started. They believe that you can become a huge success in the future because you have a great talent and you also have a great personality. So you have it all. But I think if you know who this is, if this resonates with you, if you know exactly who I'm talking about, then I'm just gonna give you some advice here. Of course, this is not part of your question, but I just feel like maybe you should help this person a bit. I don't know how, but maybe help them become more accepting of who they are. I know you probably have, because I talked about that in the beginning, that you have defended this person every time other people have tried to put them down. Like you've always been in their corner fighting for this person, and so you have done your part. But I think maybe you still have to push this person into starting to not just accept himself, but also embracing who he is as a person, and or who they are as a person. If it's not a he, again, it could be a masculine female, but just make sure that this person starts to develop a higher self-esteem, so that they can start figuring out some of their talents and who they are, and maybe say something like, if you see this person do something, of course there might never come an opportunity like this. Maybe this situation will never occur. But if you see this person and you see that they are drawing some doodles on a piece of paper, just some doodling, maybe point it out and say, wow, that's very good. That's some really good doodling. Like, you could actually do something with this, and like push this person in the right direction, push them to see that they actually have a lot of talents themselves, because this person does have a lot of talents. There are a lot of things that this person hasn't even realized that they can do, and that's also, as this person knows that they've never actually had, or maybe this person feels a bit resentful towards their parents because they feel like no one gave a damn. No one actually cared about what they could do, or what talent they had, and what skills they had, and so they never really figured it out. And so I think you just need to push them and try to like notice what this person can do, and try to emphasize it to and try to praise them for whatever they do. If you see them do something, try to encourage them to maybe take a drawing class. Like if this person likes to doodle, then maybe encourage them to take a drawing class, make something out of it. Like try to be that parent that this person felt like they didn't have growing up. I don't know, but that's just. But I do still want to shuffle some more cards. I know this has been a very long reading, but already. So, but I just still feel like I want to know a bit more about what this person looks up to you for. Like why this person looks up to you that much. Of course. It has. I've already answered that, I feel like I've already answered that, but I still want some more details. With a Tower, I think this person. Yeah, I think this person sees you as someone who's really good at cleaning out negativity. Like when people say something negative to you, it comes in from one ear and it goes out the other. Like you don't seem to marinate in it. Like you can let it go, and that's something this person isn't able to do that yet. Like they don't have that. They don't have the skill to just let it go. If people say something to them, they can't just let it go, and they feel like you have this ability to just let it go. Maybe it's a facade that you put on, maybe it's a mask, maybe you act as if it doesn't bother you, maybe it does bother you deep down, but I feel like this person sees you as someone who doesn't get bothered very easily by people's comments, by people's negativity. You're good at closing it off and just move on and move past it, and like you don't let people get to you. You don't let people discourage you if people say something nasty. But also if people like this new endeavor thing, as I said before, if people say that's a bad idea, you shouldn't do that, it will never turn into anything. That's a bad idea. Don't do YouTube. That's so last year. Like that's not, you can't do that. Like do TikTok instead. Like that's a moneymaker. YouTube is going to be gone in a few years from now, and so why even bother, or something like that. I don't know. But I think like when people say things like that to you, you don't listen. Like you listen to your own intuition. You follow your heart. If it's something you want to do, you do it. You don't. Like with the Tower, that's why, like, you're good at just throwing people out of the tower. Like, if people are not serving you, if things are not serving you, you just throw them the hell out. You don't need them. Like, it's and so, like, I think you're good at just cleaning out the closet. I don't know why that. Maybe that's also a message, cleaning out the closet. Like, you might also be good at, like, you don't, as I said before, you don't marinate in things. Like, you don't let things get to you. You don't. You're not passive aggressive. Like, if someone says something to you, you don't ignore it at the time, but then you, like, hold a grudge for years and years and years afterwards. Like, you're not that type of person, or maybe you are, but maybe you were. Like, I'm getting a message that maybe you used to do that a lot, or like, I think you have been able to hold a grudge in the past, but I think you have grown to learn that it's just better for everyone if you just take the conversation when it's relevant. Like, you take up like, you want to have the conflict as soon as possible. You don't wait around for a better time to actually have the conflict. Like, if someone says something to you, you're not that type of person who says, okay, we'll talk about it another day. Like, you actually want to figure it out at the moment, so that everything is, like, so that you can become friends again, and so that you can move on. Like, you don't want to postpone a conflict. You want to find a solution to it when it's relevant. And I think this person admires you for that, because this person is a bit afraid of conflict. They are not good at starting a conflict. They don't like it. I don't think you like it either, but I think this person just could be a bit more paralyzed to the point, like, they want to have the conflict, but for some reason they feel paralyzed, so that they can't actually get the words out. They can't actually go out and start a fight with someone if there's need for a fight. They can't. I don't know why that is, but probably something about being a bit of a people pleaser. I don't know. So, and yeah, so with this card here, 2 of Swords, but it's reversed. I think this person, they see you as they see you as a bit out of worldly, in a way. They see that you have some strength that you shouldn't have. Maybe if this is your brother, it could be related to your upbringing, like, because you had the same upbringing, but you had 2 different experiences, but you still were there for some of the bad stuff that your brother also was there for, and so, like, you were in the middle of it anyways, but it seems as if what broke your brother actually made you stronger. And I think your brother feels like they don't, if this is your brother, I think he feels like you shouldn't have had, like, they are impressed with it, they admire it, they look up to you because of it, but they feel like you shouldn't have this core strength. You have a core strength in you that wasn't built up by your parents. It wasn't built up by your upbringing. You shouldn't really have it, because nothing in your life would have created this core strength that you have, if that makes sense. Like, so I think this person, if it's your brother, I think they feel like he feels like you. It's coming from somewhere else. It's coming from a mysterious place. It's coming from a spiritual place. Maybe this person, I don't know, maybe your brother, maybe you are psychic. Let's say some of you are psychics. I think your brother might actually think that some of the strength that you have, that it's spiritually guided, and that you have a spirit guide or a guardian angel in your life that you've always had. And I think your brother might, it seems weird because your brother, for those of you where this is your brother, this person does not come across as spiritual or religious or someone who has faith in anything. But I think this person, he believes it might come from your grandfather, that your grandfather is with you, if your grandfather is dead, that it's like you embody some of your grandfather's strength. This is a bit of a weird turn of events. Like, I don't get it. I didn't expect this reading to go there. So it's a weird place. But I think for some reason, I think your brother has always felt like there was some kind of resemblance in you that reminded them of your grandfather, and that sometimes it even seems as if your grandfather, if he's dead, that your grandfather is in you, talking through you. That he feels like sometimes you get a bit possessed by your grandfather, and that your brother sees this when you are in a situation that's very uncomfortable. And I think he noticed this when you were children or when you were teenagers. He noticed that every time your parents were fighting, or every time things got very uncomfortable in the household, you had this calm, peaceful way of dealing with it. And you said some things, like you said some phrases that didn't seem like you. Like, it seemed as if someone was talking through you and guiding you through it. That you were saying some words to your brother that he might have only heard from your grandfather back when he was alive. And so he felt like that strength that you've always had might have been because you had a guardian angel that could have been your grandfather. I don't know. It's very specific for probably one of you. I'm sorry. Okay, that was intense. Sorry. And yeah, so, but yeah, with the Two of Swords reversed, I think, because when it's upright, it's a balance. It's a very tangible balance. It's someone balancing two swords with their hands, and it's very tangible. It's a very tangible balance. When it's when it's reversed in this context, I would read it as someone who has an intangible balance, something that, like, things are balancing as they should properly, but God knows how. Like, how do you do it? How do you balance everything? How do you stay strong in so horrible situations? How can you stay cool in those, like, and that's some questions that I think your brother or this person has asked themselves, like, what, it must be spiritual, it must be a guardian angel who possesses you and helps you get through it. I don't know. But yeah, this person admires you a lot. They admire your strength. They admire your confidence. They feel like there's also like this, the confidence that you have, or the self-esteem or self-worth that you feel. It is very it's very outerworldly. It's not that you shouldn't have it. Like, it's very, this person doesn't feel like it's like that it's not justified. Of course, you should feel that way because they see a lot in you. But they just also feel like it's so cool that you have so much belief in yourself that you dare to take a leap of faith, even though, like, God knows how it's gonna go, but you do it anyway because you have some kind of trust in the universe, but also in yourself, that you can actually make it if you just make an effort, if you just try. Like, you can do anything if you just learn to do it. Like, you can be a horrible drawer, like, or person who draws. Like, you could be horrible at it, but you wouldn't let that get in the way. Like, you would just learn how to do it. Like, you don't believe that people can't do things. Like, you believe that everyone can do what they want to do if they just set their mind to it. And I think this person just admires that you have that outlook on the world, that everything is possible, that you yeah, so I think that's, like, this person sees you as positive, a very optimistic person, and you don't have any reason to be optimistic because there has been a lot of letdowns in the past. You've been let down by a lot of people, as your brother or this person also has also been let down by a lot of people, but you seem to always get up again, and, like, you don't stop trusting people, even though you have no reason to do that. You have no reason to trust people after what you've been through, but you still trust them. You still have this natural trust in people. You trust that people want the best for you, even though you've been proven wrong in the past, that people have taken advantage of you and treated you like shit and done a lot of bad things towards you, but you still trust. You have a natural trust in strangers, that they don't want to harm you, that they want the best for you, and you haven't let your past get in the way of your future, like, and that is a very, very healthy point of view. Like, it's a very good philosophy to go by, to always see a new day as a new day, without comparing it to something else, or without just taking the day as it is and just moving along with it, following the waves, even if they go up and down, because that's the best way to swim, is to just follow the stream, and that's how you get forward in life. There's no reason to go against the stream. That's just a lot of hard work for no outcome. I think you could be a bit like, I'm sensing, I really have to shut the fuck up, because I know this reading has been way too long, but I am sensing like that maybe your brother might have had some ADHD growing up, and you might have had some ADD as well, and so maybe it runs in the family. So you could have both had it. Maybe it wasn't as obvious in you as it was in your brother, because your brother was just lighting things on fire and maybe doing things that made it very obvious that he had ADHD. But you might have internalized it more, and like you might have just had a more scatterbrained way of, I don't know, been more scatterbrained, and maybe you have that. Of course, you could have that thing where you just follow the like you just follow where the wave leads you. Like you, if there's something you like, you might have that ADD brain that makes you go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next thing, and like you start Googling something, and then or maybe like when you study, you might study something, then you're reading your study book or your school book, and you're reading what you're supposed to read. Then you see some name in the book, like, okay, this person, like if it was a history book, you might have seen, so this historical person did this thing, and it might have been like a sub thing, like something that was just said out of context in your history book. But then you got a bit interested in, okay, who is this guy? I must Google this person, because I need to know, because I can't just read further along without knowing who they are talking about. So I need to Google this. So he did this, and so he started doing. He was in the revolution doing this thing. So he had a relationship with this person, and this person did this in the revolution. I probably have to Google that too, because maybe she has some relevance to what happened in the revolution. And so like you might have that brain that just keeps, like, you start doing one thing, and then at the end of the day you end up in a completely weird space where how did you get there? Like, how did you start, how did you go from reading history to suddenly researching quantum physics or something? Like, how did that happen? But it just sometimes it just happens, like you just follow your interest in a way, like you just, one thing leads to the other, and then you get inspired by this and this and this, and then you end up a completely different place. And so I don't remember what my point was because I have ADD, but I think I think you just your brother looks up to you, that you just follow your intuition. Like you don't, like you do what you're guided to do. Like if you follow the inspiration, you go from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other, but it's always you're riding a wave, and it gets you to go to very interesting places. But you might not be very good at focusing on one thing at the time, but it's still, I don't know. You're educating yourself. Like you are educating yourself, even though you're not reading what you're supposed to read. You're still broadening your horizon, sucking in knowledge about 20,000 different things at once, and so in many ways it's probably that actually creates your success, because maybe when you go to the actual history exam, like if maybe you've tried this, maybe you've experienced this in the past, that you had to read your curriculum in history because you had an exam, and then you went to the exam and realized that shit, you didn't read the curriculum first, but you were able to impress your teachers because you were able to talk about the things that you read that wasn't in the history book, but was just random things that you started researching while reading the history book. And so it was all very relevant to the topic, and it actually gave you extra points because your teachers didn't expect you to know all these extra things. Maybe you didn't know the curriculum, but that probably impressed the teachers because it made you seem to have even more knowledge than they had. Maybe even like maybe you could even educate them on certain things that they didn't know about. And so I think this person admires that about you. And if this person is not your brother, but like a study buddy, that's probably what this person admires the most about you, is that you seem to be able to like go off topic, but you do it in a way where it actually ends up working for you. Like you're I don't know, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Group number 2, I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3, who looks up to group number 3? Oh, okay, so this is a very positive person. Very, very happy person. Or not necessarily happy, but like very positive, very like everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna turn out fine. Don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. Everything's... this is a woman. I'm sensing a woman here. And she has a very, very soft and gentle voice. Like, everything's gonna be all right. Everything's fine. She might also whisper a bit when she talks, like, don't worry about that. Don't worry, it's gonna be okay. Everything's fine. This could be either your your mother or your grandmother or someone a bit older, from the older generation, like someone older and female. I am sensing that she could have like white hair. So I am sensing that it could be more. It might be your grandmother. Or your mother. But like she's very she has a very gentle soul. Like this is a very gentle soul, very gentle bird. I don't know why I said like bird-like. I don't know, but like she had like she just has a very, very gentle way of being. Like the way she speaks is very gentle, but also the way the way she walks is also like very, very light and very like she just I don't know, it's but she's very much like she's behind you a lot. I don't know if this for some of you she could have passed away because I am sensing someone who's always like always around you, like behind you, but it's you don't always notice her, like because she has, but she could also for others of you she could still be alive, but she just has such a silent way of walking and being. Like she's so quiet that like she can just walk up from behind you and look over your shoulder, and you wouldn't notice that she's standing right there, like and so like you look up and oh okay, hi. Like she doesn't draw attention to herself. She's very, very, she likes to be in the background, and also like if this is someone who passed away, I think she was like that also when she was alive. Like she liked to be in the background, being the person who just cared for others, like the person who was like cooking the food and making sure that everyone had food on their plate, and like she was like just walking around making sure that everyone was cared for, but she didn't take part in the conversations or something. She was more in the background, doing practical things, making sure that everything was fine, that everything was on the and yeah, she looks up to you. She admires you, and she admires something about you a lot. And I think even though that I am sensing that she has had to say to you a bunch of times, like, everything's gonna be all right, don't worry, things are gonna work out for you, don't worry so much, but it might be because you've freaked out about things and been a bit unsure about the things that you were doing, but she always, like, this person, if she's alive, like, she believes in you, and she has always believed in you. Even when you didn't believe in yourself, she believed in you. And if she has passed away, she still believes in you. She's still around you all the time. And she is very proud of what you're doing. She might, if she's alive, she might not say it directly to you. Like, she's probably not the type of person who would say, like, I'm proud of you directly. But it's very obvious that she is. But again, she could be a person. She could be a woman of very few words. Like, she doesn't use a lot of words to praise someone, but she doesn't have to, because she is, like, I am sensing that you've done some things. Like, you've had some, like, I am seeing her in in the front seat of some kind of performance that you made, maybe in the past. Maybe you did a performance when you were in school or something, and she was in the front seats, and she was just so proud of you. Like, it was just shining out of her eyes that she was just so proud of, like, it didn't even, like, you couldn't really do anything wrong. Even if you had fucked everything up, she would still have been very proud of you. But you didn't, like, you didn't fuck it up at all. Like, she just was very impressed and very proud. And she might not have said a lot, but it was very obvious that she was. And she could have been, she could be one of those who doesn't say it directly to the person. Like, she might not have said it directly to you, that she thought you were amazing, but she might have said it to everyone else. Like, she might have talked about you in her community club thing, like, or church club thing. Like, she might have had some kind of thing that she went to every week, some kind of event or gathering where she met with some people from the church or from the community or some I don't know, and she couldn't shut up about how proud she was of you. And so it's a weird thing where she is a person, she is a woman of few words, but on the other hand, she might not be. I don't. Maybe there's two people here. Like, that's very likely that there are two different types here in this group, where for one half of you, this person is someone who's of very few words, and for the other half, this person might be someone who who doesn't say that much directly to the person, but who might be a bit of a gossip, but gossip in a good way. Like she brags about her children or grandchildren to others, but she might not praise directly, maybe because she's of a different generation where they didn't believe that you should praise your children or grandchildren too much, because it might it might make them or like, because you have to keep them humble or something, I don't know. But then she goes out and brags about them, about you and to others, and I don't know. And especially maybe also other family members, like she might have bragged about you to your uncle and your aunt and other members of the family. And I think I think she feels like you, like one of the reasons why she looks up to you is because you're capable of doing something that she was never capable of doing. So there is something that you can do that she had wished that she had been able to do when she was younger. Like maybe if she's a bit more shy, or maybe it's maybe you sang, maybe you sing. Some of you might sing, and maybe you sang in some kind of play, and that might have been the performance that she was in the front seats at. And maybe you can sing very beautifully, but this person, your grandmother or your mother, she might have always had a bit of a very soft and mild voice, and it might have never had a lot of range to it. Like she might not have been able to sing like loudly because her voice might be a bit more restricted, and maybe she always wished that she could sing like you, and like so there could be something like that. And I'm also sensing that like you have some bravery to you that she didn't have, or maybe she feels like you have more opportunities than she had. Like she might have, like if this is your grandmother, she might have had a tough life where she wasn't able to live out her dreams. Like she had to work at the farm, or she had to work from a very early age to make do at home, or she might have had to take care of her siblings so that she never actually had any time for herself or something like that. And so she might have had some other some things that hindered her from actually going out and pursuing her dreams. And so I think she looks up to you as someone who can actually, like you can just go out and do what you wish to do. Like you, if you wanted to, you could become a singer, you could become an actor, you could become like you, there's no limit, because you're also very talented. And like I think this person, she probably sees you as someone who should be in some kind of showbiz. No, I don't think that. I think that's specific for a few of you. I don't think that's for the majority of you. So scratch that. I think for okay, I think the common denominator in this group is that she sees you as someone who can, like, she believes in you. She believes that you can come very far in whatever field you're interested in, or whatever field you are in right now. Like, and it doesn't have to be showbiz. That's more specific for a few of you. You could be doing something completely different, like business or law or whatever. But I just think she sees you as someone, maybe also because you maybe you're taking an education right now, like maybe you're in school, maybe you have graduated from something that this person is really proud of, because maybe you're the first one who graduated in the family, like, or one of the first, or maybe she just compares you to her, and so she didn't get a fancy degree in anything because she had to work, and so she sees you as like someone who's like you're living her dream by actually getting a degree. And I don't know, but she looks up to you. She sees you as someone who has a lot of potential. And the only thing I'm sensing is that she wants you to believe more in yourself. Like, that you should believe more in that everything's going to work out, like as in the beginning. Like, she's I think she has like a lifetime of experience. Like, she has a lot of experience, and so when she says everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna work out, don't worry. Like, when she says that to you, you should really believe in her, because she knows. Like, she knows when everything's gonna be all right. Like, she knows from experience, like, that things are always gonna turn out fine, even if there's an obstacle along the way. It's never gonna kill you. It's just gonna make you stronger, and so it's just about relaxing and staying calm, like in the storm. Like, don't let the storm hit you or get to you, or like, also like the quote that a sailor, like, a sailor has that a smooth sea never created a skilled sailor. Like, that you become a good sailor by sailing in stormy waters, by learning from your mistakes, by making mistakes and learning from them. Like, don't be afraid of making mistakes, because mistakes are like happy accidents. Like, you know, I don't know. That's like Bob Ross, or I don't know. But like, don't be so quick to don't freak out over small things, because life is just like, it's typical that life is never a smooth road. Like, there will always be bumps in the road, and okay, so with Seven of Swords reversed. I think this person looks up to you because of the fact that you don't. You're very honest. You're very. You're very genuine, and you don't. You never try to sneak yourself to a victory. Like you never try to. You've never cheated to get to where you are today. Like you are. You're very. And I think this person she admires you because you don't cut corners. You don't try to find the easy way out of things. You don't you take the whole journey with, like, you if you want something, you know that you have to take the whole package. You know that that's the whole deal. That if you want something good, you need to be prepared that there might be something in the package that you won't like, but that's just a part of it. So maybe this has to do with one of your relationships in the past, or the relationship that you are in right now. If you are in a relationship, you might have, maybe you've fallen in love with someone who has children, but you don't, like, you don't care. Like you know that if you want the love, if you want this, like, if this is going to work out, you will have to embrace the whole package. You can't just choose one person and then, like, oh the rest is just, like, you would rather not have it there, but you have to, like, you're not like that. You actually embrace the whole package and say, like, this is just, you just have to accept the challenge that goes with the love, and that's just a part of it. And I think this person admires you a lot because of that. Like, this person admires that you're up for the challenge, that you didn't hesitate, that you didn't allow this to get in the way. But that's, of course, a specific message for a few of you or one of you. But for others of you, this could have been something else, where maybe you said yes to something because you wanted something, but you said yes to the whole package, even though there was a lot of difficult things as well. This could have been a job as well. Like, maybe you accepted a job because you wanted one thing out of it, but then you had to deal with a lot of other stuff, but you just accepted the challenge with the other stuff and saw it as a package deal, and thought, okay, you had to embrace those things as well, because those things were a part of it. I don't know. And, like, I think you don't, this person just looks up to you because you don't let one thing get in the way of a good thing. Like, you don't see one bad thing as, like, a deal breaker, and then you don't want nothing to do with it. Like, you actually stand up for the challenge, you accept the challenge, you don't cut corners, and you don't cheat. You're a very loyal person, and you're honest, and you might be the type of person, like if you cheat on a test, you might be that cute type of person who would actually who would get away with it, but it would eat at you so much that you would have to go to the principal and say, I cheated. I'm so sorry. But like, even though you had actually, like, you got away with it, no one thought you had cheated or anything, but you just couldn't bear knowing that you had done something wrong. And I think, like, that's some of the things that this person admires you for, that you have this honesty. This person knows that you are always telling them the truth. She knows that you wouldn't lie to her, because she knows that the times that you have lied to her in the past, you've come clean instantly afterwards. Like, it didn't even take like 10 minutes before you cracked and said, oh, I lied, I'm sorry. And so I think, she sees you as very, very honest, and not crafty at all. Like, you're very, very, just very honest. And with the 10 of Swords reversed, I think she sees you as someone who has, like, you've been through some challenging things in your life. Like, you have had your ups and downs throughout your life. You've had bad experiences, but you always get up. Like, you don't let the bad things get in the way of you having good new experiences, good experiences. Like, if you have a bad experience with something, like, you're not one of those people who has one bad experience and then you never try it again because you're too afraid that bad experience is going to repeat itself. Like, you go back and try to get a good experience out of it the second time. Like, you don't let bad experiences hold you back. Like, if you've had a bad experience with love, you still want to try again. And, like, if you've had a bad experience with, like, a job, then you go back there. Like, you go back and try again. And if you fail an exam, you just take it again. Like, you just go to the exam again, and then you pass the second time. Like, you don't let it define you. Like, you don't you learn from your mistakes, and or you don't allow your mistakes to get in the way of you trying again. And I think this person is very much the reason why you are like that. That, I think, she has a lot to do with that. Like, because she has been so good at saying, like, just try again. Everything's gonna work out. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it, like, she has been good at encouraging you to try again, and encouraging you to stop freaking out about things, and encouraging you to relax and just see things through and not make any decisions while you are that you shouldn't make any decisions out of insecurities or because of your own self-doubt. Like you might have talked to her about how you wanted to drop out of school or something because you felt like you weren't good enough, that you were always the worst in the class or something. But she was good at telling you, like, you just have to see it through. Don't make any rash decisions when you are feeling insecure, because maybe you will feel better about yourself tomorrow. Maybe it's just now you're feeling a bit low, and maybe it will change. Like maybe you will have a good experience tomorrow. Just see it through. And she has been good like that. So with the Queen of Swords, I think she looks up to you because you are very smart and you are very capable. You have a good brain. Like your brain is wired correctly. Like you have potential to come very far because you have, like, you might maybe you haven't always been that great at school, or maybe you have, but you've always been able to pass easily, like, or maybe not easily. Maybe it has been hard, and maybe you've had to have some second chances and maybe even some third chances, but you've always kept going, and that is the strength of a smart person. That is that is the mind of a smart person. Like a smart person is not necessarily that person who just has it easy all the way through. Like because a smart person who goes through the school system just succeeding at everything and just passing with the highest grades, and just like those types of students don't always come very far because they have never had any difficulties. Like they've never sailed in stormy waters. Like they've never been out of their comfort zone. They've never actually had to fight for their place in the school system. Like they've never had to actually make an effort, and I think you've had to make an effort, not because you are very smart, but maybe you've had something that might have made school very difficult for you, and it might have had nothing to do with your learning abilities. Like I don't think you have had any learning disabilities or anything like that. I actually think it's the opposite, if I have to be honest. Maybe some of you have been told that you had difficulties with learning, but I think that's a misconception, because I think it might have more been because of other factors that were playing in. Maybe you didn't attend a lot of classes, like when you were in grade school, or like when you were younger. Like you might not have been at school that much. Maybe you had a lot of sick days or something because of an illness, or maybe you were bullied, which made every day a living hell for you, and so you didn't want to go there. Like, you didn't want to go to school because you were being bullied and it was difficult. Or maybe you had a sickness that made you unable to attend school as much as your peers. But so I think you've had obstacles, you've had challenges, you've had to fight for your learning. Like, it hasn't been an easy road for you, but you've been able to pass anyways. Like, you've been able to do what the other students were able to do, even with the challenges that you were facing, that the other pupils or students weren't facing. So don't come. I think this person, your grandmother or your mother, or this strong female character in your life, I think she always wanted you to stop comparing yourself to others, because that was not a fair comparison, because you weren't like the others. Like, the others had a like they didn't have those challenges that you had. Like, they had it easy. So why would you compare yourself to them when you should instead just have been extremely proud of what you had accomplished with the challenges that you had. Like, and I think she wants you to still keep that in mind, that you have come far, and you shouldn't compare yourself to people who haven't had your past, who haven't had the same challenges. And if you compared yourself with someone who had a similar past as you would probably realize that you actually are well off, that you have that your accomplishments are actually very, very respectable, because you have been able to do something that you probably shouldn't have been able to do. Like, you shouldn't have been able to pull it off, but you did anyway, because you have a strong core. Like, you have the intelligence. Like, you are smart. You have that. Like, you are intelligent enough to actually get to this, like, to the same. So you that requires a lot of intelligence to be able to perform in the same manner as your peers, even though you've only had half the amount of education as they've had. So it's not a tie. It's like you are way in front of them. You're not behind. You're way in front of them, because you've had only half the same amount of education, because of your sick days, because of your challenges, because I think she is very proud of what you've achieved, and she just wants you to also be aware that that you should be proud of it. you shouldn't think that you are less valuable just because you don't get the highest grade in the class. And because as I said, you didn't have the same education as they did. But I'm also getting something that I think she wants you to maybe think of going into teaching. That's kind of a message that came through before. I don't know if it's specific for a few of you, but I'm just sensing that for a few of you, this person sees you as someone who could be very good as a teacher because you're very smart, but you also know the challenges that some of your future students, if you become a teacher, some of your future students will have. Like you will be able to empathize, like have empathy for your students. You will know their challenges. You will be able to teach the children or the students who have difficulties learning, because you've had your difficulties with learning as well. So you would be a much better teacher than any of the like if you're in school right now, like you would be the best teacher of any of your classmates, like because like even though you have a lot of smart classmates, they might not be as capable at teaching as you are, because they don't know the challenge that teaching can be, because it's been easy for many of them all the way through, and so they've been carried as well all the way through, maybe by their parents or maybe by other people just carrying them or whatever, I don't know. But you haven't been carried. You've had so you, I think this person, like she sees you as someone who could be a brilliant teacher. Like you, for instance, you could be a lot of things. That's just one of the things that you can be. But yeah, she sees a lot of potential in you. She sees you as like a very smart and capable and skilled person. She just wishes that you would be able to see yourself as she sees you. Like she would want you to see how awesome you are and how brilliant you are, and not doubt yourself so much for no reason at all. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose the Ring Cycle Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4. Group number 4. Group number 4. Who looks up to group number 4? I am sensing that it's someone who's like a best friend to you, or maybe you used to be best friends, but I am sensing that for some of you, you're still best friends, or not best friends, but because that's kind of a bit high school, teenage, but maybe you used to be best friends back when you were teenagers, and so that was a thing that you were best friends because that was, maybe you don't call each other best friends now because it's a bit it's a bit possessive and a bit unnecessary to have those terms like you're my best friend, my only friend, only best friend, you're the, like that's not, that's probably not how you define the friendship now. I don't think it's because you've had like a disagreement or something in the past or that made you not be best friends anymore. I just think you got a bit tired of labeling it as some, I don't know. But I think this is someone you have been friends with for a long time. And there is something about how you two are not in the same room together. So maybe you used to be roommates, but you're not roommates anymore because now you've found your new place or a new place, or maybe you've moved in with someone or something, I don't know. But maybe you used to be roommates. And so you used to be very close. I think like you used to share a space. If you weren't roommates, you could have been classmates. So you shared the classroom together like every day. And so maybe you don't do that anymore because maybe you're not classmates anymore. Like maybe you've moved on or started some other education, or maybe you just split up and so you're in 2 different classes now, or I don't know. She could be a bit like a bit of a hippie. I don't know why that came through. Or maybe she used to be, or maybe you used to be a hippie, or maybe you used to be hippies together. I don't know. Like, I'm also sensing that maybe you went on some trips together, like maybe you went out traveling, maybe you went on a road trip together in the past. And so I think you were very close one time, but I think you're still very close, but just in a different way. But it is someone who knows you very, very well. Like she knows everything about you. Like she knows all your darkest secrets. She knows all about your sex life, like, or she used to know every detail about your sex life. Like, I think she was someone you could talk very freely about. Like, oh, you went on this date and he couldn't get it up, or like something like you could just tell those stories to this friend of yours. Who looks up to you, and so so this is a person, like I think there are other people here as well who looks up to you, but she's just the one that's coming in quite strongly. Like I think she has always admired you, admired your guts in a way, like that you always, I feel like you you dared to be different in times where this person was a bit more mainstream. Like, she didn't take any chances, but then you just went out and just started maybe dressing a bit differently, like trying on some different styles, maybe the hippie style, maybe you even went through like a goth period in your life where you were like in goth or some like scene, like emo scene, alternative sort of clothing style. Maybe you had some punk style, or maybe you also listened to some different music. Like maybe you just always dared to stand out, and maybe you also tried very hard to stand out a bit. Like maybe you like to express that you were different. Maybe you're an Aquarius, I don't know, but you could have like a bit of a need, or you could be a Libra as well. Like you might have a need to express who you are on the inside by dressing differently on the outside. Like you feel you might have always felt a bit alienated by other, or like that you didn't really that you felt misunderstood by the people around you, or that you just had a need to be different, look different, and I think this person always admired that about you, that you didn't seem to have a care in the world of like what other people thought of you. Like you didn't seem to care that people would look strangely at you, and like because of the way you dressed or something. Like it didn't bother you. It actually was kind of like giving you even more energy. Like people who gave you strange looks just made you feel even more rebellious in a way. I don't know. You're probably a bit embarrassed by this time in your life where you felt that need to dress differently, or some of you might be a bit embarrassed by that, but you shouldn't. We all go through phases in our life that are a bit like, sometimes we look back and think like, what, that wasn't a good look, but this person who looks up to you, she or he, it could be a he, it could be a male as well, but this best friend of yours, they liked it. Like they didn't find it embarrassing at all. They thought it was really bold and cool that you just did it. Or maybe they were a bit conflicted at the time, like because like you were doing something that they didn't dare to do, and so they might have had some like they might have had some jealousy towards you in a weird way, where they might have actually I don't know. I am sensing that there was probably a period in your life where you weren't really getting along that well with this best friend of yours. Like there might have been a bump in the road, and it could have been because they it could have been because of their own insecurities, like because they didn't dare to be different like you did. Like they didn't dare to go out and dress, like especially if this was in high school or something like that. They might have felt like they thought it was really cool that you were doing your thing, and they kind of like they admired you and they wanted your courage, but they also had that conflict within themselves where they felt that they actually couldn't be seen walking around with you because of how other people were judging you, not because of how she or he was judging you. Like it wasn't this person's judgment. Like they didn't judge you. They thought you were doing a cool thing, and they loved that you had the guts to do it. But maybe they just had insecurities. They felt like they were already a bit unpopular, and they were already looked down upon by the others in the school. So they didn't have that. They didn't have the privilege to stand out, because if they stood out, they would just become a target. And so I think they felt like it might have put a bit of a strain on your relationship or your friendship, because they wanted to be with you, but they were afraid of the others, how they would act or towards them, or how they would make fun of them, or how they would become a target to bullies if they were. I don't know. It's kind of a sad story. Like none of you were to blame. Like I understand both sides. I understand the need to stand out and live your truth and be who you want to be, and have the courage to dress however you want to dress. Like everyone should be able to do that. But I also understand your friend, that she was afraid of becoming a target to bullying, and maybe she was used to being bullied, and so she didn't want to get bullied again, and so she felt very conflicted. I get it. Of course, it could be, if this doesn't resonate, then it's probably specific for one of you or a few of you. I'm sorry, but so with the sun and the moon coming out here, so I think you two, you are best friends, or you were best friends. But the reasons why you were so good friends is because you were like the sun and the moon. Like maybe you were the moon, she was the sun, or vice versa. I don't know. But like you were very different. But you complemented each other very well, because what one lacked, the other one had, and what the other one lacked, the other one had. Like so you together you created some kind of unit where so I think you have always been very good together, but I think like this person, they look up to you because you're different. They look up to you because you are completely different than they are. And you dare to be. Like, maybe this person has always been a bit mainstream. You've always been rebellious. And so that is the thing that this person admires and would wish, like, they would wish they could dare to be different. Dare to be more spiritual. Maybe you are spiritual, and maybe you are into astrology as well, and maybe you are into some of the more strange stuff. And maybe this person who used to be your best friend, or who is still your best friend, she or he might have had the interest, but never really had the courage to actually go into that world and embracing that world because of how they were too afraid that people would think of them as a bit weird, or but you were, I am sensing that you are light and day, like, and you still are, like, and there's also something here where I feel like your best, this person who looks up to you, who is your best friend or used to be, they might be a virgin, or maybe they used to be for a very long time, while you were out there experiencing stuff. And I think this person was very envious of you because you were out there doing things that they weren't doing. Like, you were, and I think this person lived a bit through you by listening to your stories, listening to you talk about your dates and your sex life and what was going on, and while they weren't really experiencing anything. And so I think one of the things that this person looks up to you, maybe they still look up to you because of this, is that you are more sexually liberated. Like, you, and maybe you're not, but in this person's standards, you are. Like, you've tried things, you've had experiences. You maybe also tried some weird stuff, and it's this new fascinating world for this person, because that's or it used to be. I don't know, like, the timeline is a bit off here, because I'm getting a lot of information that I feel like is like old information, like old things that they used to admire about you, but there's also some new stuff coming in, but I can't really distinguish between the old stuff and the new stuff. It kind of gets like into like this blurry bunch, and but I am sensing that even if you're not talking that much now, this person still admires you and looks up to you, and this person might actually still be living a bit in the past, like you might have moved on a bit, but this person is still talking about some of your stories and like the experiences you had together. Like this person talks very fondly of you, and I think this person talks about you a lot. Like even if you're not talking that much anymore, like you're. I think she might have lived a bit through you, also in your when you were younger. Like I don't know how I should say this in a respectful manner, because but don't take me wrong. But I'm just sensing that this person could be a bit bland, like a bit of a dull personality. Not like she's lovely, like a lovely person, but she might be a bit dull. Like she doesn't have like a very strong personality. She might be a bit of a people pleaser, so she might just say whatever she thinks other people wants her to say, and so and I'm also getting that she's a bit of a goody-goody. Like she's always done everything right, like everything by the book, and she's never been able to stand out and dare to be different. And so I think many of her stories, like if she goes out, I don't want to sound like I'm talking her down or like, but I am just sensing that when she goes out partying, like if she has to like say a funny story to people to make them laugh, like she always talks about something that she experienced with you, or like some story from your past, like but it was you who made that fun. Like she so many of her stories are actually your stories that she said that. But it is because like she admires you, she looks up to you, she thought you were a great person, and she still thinks you're a great person because she knows that all her greatest stories were with you. Like all her greatest experiences were with you. Like not greatest experiences, that kind of makes it sound bad, but like her funniest moments, the funniest moments in her life was with you. Where you did something crazy together that she would never have done on her own, because like she needed you to be that crazy one who said like let's do it, and then she just went along with it. But she really she sees you as a very fun person, this light, free, carefree person who just did something crazy, like who was who didn't care about what other people thought of you. And yeah. So yeah, so I want to know like more information on like what this person looks up to you for, like I'm also sensing like I think I've already kind of answered that question. So I'm actually more interested in knowing if there's someone else here, because I think there is someone else here who also looks up to you. And so I want to know who that is. I am sensing it could be your mother. I think your mother admires you a lot. She might not say it that much, but I think like I think your mother has always been very been like she has always encouraged you to be different. I think I don't know if that's for all of you, but I'm just sensing that many of you have a mother who was very encouraging, and like she if you said like you wanted to dress differently, she would just say like, you go girl, like do what that's awesome that you want to try this out, like that's a cool look on you, or like and not everyone has had a mother like that, and so it's very special. So but I think like she always just believed in your judgment, that like she also believed that you should just be who you wanted to be, like that you shouldn't like you shouldn't let other people dictate how you should be or what you should wear, or and I think she always thought all your looks looked very good, like even those faces that you might look back on and think like, okay, I probably shouldn't have gone through the emo or goth phase, like that might have not been a good look, but I think your mother still thought it was cool. Like she she might still think that, like think back at it and think like that was a cool look on you. Like she might have like pictures of it, and she might even have pictures up, like in or maybe just in an album. But for some of you, I think your mother actually have like pictures up on the wall of you going through your weird phases, and like she looks at them and think like, oh, that was so cool. That's my daughter or son or whatever. That's the person in the school photo who dared to be different. That's mine. Like that's my kid. That's I had that brave kid who dared to stand out. And so I think like your mother, for many of you, your mother saw you as a rock star and still does. And you might have a very strong connection with your mother. Like you have a very near relationship where you, like, I think for many of you are very close to your mother. Some of you might not be that close, but like yeah, with the strength here, your mother saw you as really strong, like that you had that confidence to be different. And I think she admired that a lot about you, that you had the confidence to be different and be yourself, be your authentic self. Like you weren't trying to get approval from other people. You weren't trying to fit in just so that other people would like you better, or like, yeah. With the Tower here, I am sensing that maybe you have had a bit of a bumpy relationship with your mother, especially maybe in the past years. Or maybe it's been good in the past years, but maybe in the past you might have had a bit of a rockier relationship. Maybe it wasn't always that good. So there could have been a Tower moment, something that changed your relationship. Maybe your mother got a new boyfriend that didn't quite respect you in the right way, or didn't treat you the way that you should have been treated, or something like that. Maybe not specifically that scenario, but I am sensing that there might have been something that got in the way of your relationship with your mother. Something got something might have changed it a bit. But I'm sensing that it's something from the outside, like it's something from the environment causing this to break into two. Like and that could be like your parents getting a divorce or something like that. That could have felt like it broke your relationship with your mother in two, because suddenly you only spent time with your mother half of the time, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah. Oh. Was there anything more? There was some other cards here. I didn't. So with the 9 of Cups, I think your mother talks very fondly of you. Like your mother brags about you a lot to others. Like you are someone who's like, you're always on your mother's mind, and your mother talks about you a lot, and very fondly. And like, she might even brag about some of your achievements in life, like when you get good grades, your mother brags about it. She might even put it on Facebook. It might embarrass you a lot when she puts it on Facebook. Like, she might be the type of mother who posts like, oh, my daughter or my son just got an A on his or her exam. That was really great. Like, and it is a bit cringy, of course, but it's very sweet. Like, it is like, she is supportive. She brags about you because she's proud of you. But you might have to talk about that with her and ask her to stop doing that. But with the 3 of Cups, I think your mother. I think your mother might feel like you need to put yourself a bit more out there. I think your mother really wants you to start dating more, like go out and date, or maybe just go out and have some fun, like maybe she feels like you've stagnated a bit in your life right now, that you're not out having fun and doing fun things, like and rebelling and standing out from the crowd and doing crazy stuff. Like you might have mellowed down a bit and become a bit more mild and a bit more serious with the years. And I think both your mother and this friend of yours from the past, this best friend of yours from the past, I think they both might, like, they both look up to you still to this today, but they might feel like you're not that crazy person that you used to be. Like, you're not that dancing on the tables, getting pass out drunk type of person anymore, because you've grown up, and so you're not that. But maybe they feel like you might need that kind of spark back in your life a bit. Like it wouldn't hurt for you to go out and do something crazy once in a while. That maybe your life is a bit too boring and serious right now, and that maybe you need to take more chances in life and go out, see what happens. I don't know. With the 9 of wands, 9 of gods here, 9 of wands, yeah, I think it is, you might have become a bit, you might have changed a bit, maybe throughout this pandemic. Like, maybe it's just because of the pandemic, but maybe you have become a bit more introverted and withdrawn, and you're maybe isolating yourself a bit in your home and not getting out that much anymore as you used to do. And maybe there's also, like, maybe something happened to you that changed your outlook on life. Like, maybe you were carefree and happy-go-lucky before, but maybe you had a reality check at some point where you just realized that everything is not that, that life is not that easy. That there are that sometimes you need to care, because the carefree way of living might have caused that you like, I'm not saying that you're responsible for what happened to you, but I'm saying that maybe you feel like, or maybe you've had some realization that you have to be more careful with who you allow to get into your life, who you allow to get near you, who you so I think something happened. Someone might have hurt you, or someone might have misused your trust in a way where you just realized that you need to be careful. You can't just, like, I don't know, maybe someone discriminated you as well. Like, it could also have been something like that, where before you might have had all these different phases that you went through, where you had this emo phase and this goth phase, and like you went through like some, but there might have never been any consequences. Maybe you had some strange looks once in a while, but maybe something happened where you had where you were trying to rock a bit of a strange look, or like not strange look, but like maybe you tried to rock some kind of, maybe you looked I don't know, maybe it had something to do with your clothing. It might be specific for one of you, but maybe you dared to have some punky look, clothing style, and it might have backfired because someone might have punched you in the face or beat you up because of it, where before you didn't even think that could ever happen. Like you didn't think that anyone would feel provoked enough by your look to actually physically harm you. But maybe that happened for one of you, and maybe that experience made you just think, okay, I need to just be mainstream, because then I don't draw negative attention to myself. Then I can like, I don't know. But this could also have had something to do with something else. Like, but I'm just sensing that maybe you were that you were hurt by someone, or that I don't know, and this has made you change the way you're not as keen on doing crazy stuff. Like you don't want to do crazy stuff anymore because it draws attention to you, and you might just want to stay a bit like off the grid, or under the radar. Like you don't want to draw attention to yourself because, I don't know, maybe you're done with that. Like maybe you just want to be maybe you just want to live a less complicated life, live a more mainstream life, be more just normal and like everybody else, and not stand out, and live a more quiet life, a simpler life, not a crazy life, just a simple, settled life, and I think maybe these two, your mother and your best friend, or who used to be a best friend, they might see that as a downgrade, but maybe you see it as an upgrade. Like you see it as that you've evolved and become a better person, because you don't have to stand out anymore. You don't have to be different. Maybe you realize that we're all the same, and that we shouldn't try to stand out from each other. We shouldn't try to emphasize our differences. We should embrace how similar we actually are, instead of trying to look for things that puts us apart. We should find the glue that sticks us together, or whatever. I don't know. And maybe you realize that it might have been more ego-based, that when you had that urge to stand out, it was might have been a bit ego-based, and that now you now you've tamed your ego, and you're able to live your truth in a different way that maybe some people don't understand. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye.